let's get into some game predictions for this weekend.
Mhm.
I believe if my math was right, I edged you out in a couple of the games, particularly the ones where Titans, Colts.
They were really close, though. They were
They
like
were really
the
close. It was
Broncos
exciting.
one. All of them
Um,
could have gone either
the
way.
Broncos Texans one. Yep, that was another one. We both picked the Niners without hesitancy, and
Yeah.
I believe you took the Browns over the Rams, but I had the
I
Rams
did, yeah.
winning. I had the Rams winning that one just because the Browns question marks. But
Yeah, the
maybe
49ers one, people definitely could have
yeah.
thought that was an outlandish prediction, but I mean,
Yeah,
we're gonna
but I think a lot of people knew what the 49ers were. And I mean, I want to discredit the Eagles, but the 49ers are the best team in that conference, regardless of record. And I think that
probably
proved,
in the NFC.
yeah, arguably the NFL.
Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe you can make up some ground this week, but we'll see what we got. So first game, start off with you, and then we can rotate who picks first or whatever you want to do. Got an NFC South battle between the Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons for first place, I may add, which is sad.
That's tough. I like the way Mike Evans has been playing. The Falcons are a good team. I mean, Jesse Bates, like I said before, has been cooking, so that'll be an interesting matchup. I think Mike Evans will have it in this one. I think the Buccaneers are the better team here.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I think the Falcons have a great defense, and that's what's been carrying them. I still don't like their coach. I think Arthur Smith is not a good coach at all, especially for an offensive mind when you don't use Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, and you're giving Tyler Algier, with all due respect, like snaps over him. I think it's just kind of stupid. And
Why draft a running back in the first round if you're
with
going to use them?
eighth, never mind, like 32nd overall, 8th overall, and you don't even use him like
It's
that.
not like when he plays, he does bad either. Like every time.
No, he averages like it feels like sometimes 8 yards a carry, and he just still
Like he's
only
a
gets
top 10 to 15 running back in the league right
yeah,
now. Like sure,
and he
like
should be
no
getting
doubt.
those carries, but I don't really like him. But the Falcons' defense is scrappy; they'll keep him in it. But I just trust Tampa Bay more with their weapons. Baker,
Yeah,
the
they're just
defense
a
is
more.
still
They feel like a more concrete team to me.
exactly, and I think we lie the same there. So we both have the Buccaneers winning that and taking possession of first place with a 6-7 record if they win, which is really sad, man. But all right, now I guess I'll go this one first. The Rams travel with a 3-game winning streak to Baltimore. I mean, I've liked what the Rams have done. A lot of people projected them to be one of the worst teams this year. They started off 3-6. They've won 3 in a row. They're hot. But with that being said, in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, a top MVP candidate right now. That defense with Kyle Hamilton, so scrappy. Especially in Baltimore. If it was in Los Angeles, you may consider it. But I got Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, no doubt. You said it all. I'm gonna go with Baltimore on this one.
All right. Then now an NFC North battle. We got the Lions going to Chicago.
I really doubt. I believe the Bears already lost to the Lions the first game of the season, right?
Yeah, there you go, Bears.
I think
I know they lost to the Packers like week 1, but I know the Lions.
Unless Jared Goff gets oh yeah, the Bears lost to the Packers week 1. Unless Jared Goff gets injured or something like that, I'm going with the Lions, no doubt.
I just remembered, the Bears Lions played the game before Thanksgiving. That was when the Bears were actually up 12 with like under 4 minutes to go, but the Lions answered with 2 quick touchdowns to rally. This is kind of when
in Detroit.
Yeah, it was in their slump before, and then they lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. But, the Lions last week got off to a hot start against the Saints, almost blew it at the end. That defense still leaves a lot to be desired, but the Lions need this. And, I mean, I think they'll get it.
Division rival, so it'll be closer, but
it's going to be a scrappy game. The Bears' defense has actually been a lot better, but Justin Fields still can't get the job done for me. But, we both got the Lions win that one.
For sure.
Then I'll pick this one. Probably going to be maybe some controversy here. We got the Colts traveling to Cincinnati. For me, this is kind of a toss-up. I mean, I thought the Bengals were kind of cooked, but then they come out, beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville, which was stunning. I know Trevor Lawrence got injured, Christian Kirk got injured, so Jacksonville has a lot of their own problems to deal with. But, but the Colts overtime win against Tennessee, they're rolling with Gardner Minshew. It's really close, but I guess I'm gonna roll with the Colts. I like them. I think they'll get it done with Michael Pittman. They just have enough.
I really liked how the Bengals played. I think they still got a lot of heart. I am gonna go with Bengals on this one. I think it'll be an upset once again, and I think I don't think they're gonna do much after that, but I think it'll be another upset. I think the Colts are the worst team on paper, and I think Minshew might have a bad game.
Yeah, could definitely see that. And then one that's then you will go first on this one that's also very controversial. I think now the Jaguars traveling to Cleveland with the over-under being at 33.5 total points. So should expect a low-scoring game in Cleveland.
I mean, both great defenses this year. I think that's the only reason these two teams have really been held up as high as they are. So at that point, I'd really just have to pick the better defense, and I think that's the Browns. I think the Browns, they just got a pretty upsetting loss. They're still trying to battle for playoffs, and I think they're going to get a win here.
Yeah, I mean,
Jags are still figuring it out with all the injuries and stuff,
Yeah, is Trevor Lawrence playing?
No, he's out for the season.
Trevor Lawrence is out for the season?
Yeah, he's done.
Oh. All right. I think hold on, let me just make sure before I predict anything.
Yeah. I mean, I really doubt it was an ankle injury, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, he's listed as questionable for this game. So the Jaguars season is, I think I saw Christian Kirk is out for the year unless they make the Super Bowl or something. His week's an 8-week injury. But yeah, I didn't really, I just knew he had an ankle injury. I wasn't really sure of the diagnosis. I'd say if Trevor Lawrence played, the Jaguars would win this, but I think even with the questionable status, I think you don't want to risk it against a team like Myles Garrett and that scrappy Cleveland defense. And I think,
the backup QB has been playing for a little bit too, and he's got in the water,
With that being said, though, I trust the Browns here. I think Joe Flacco honestly didn't even look that bad against the Rams. Their defense is scrappy enough. In Cleveland, they'll be a little bit more desperate, I think. The Jaguars, good team, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence is playing in this one. So without him, I got.
Did you confirm he's out for the season?
No, he's questionable for the Sunday's game. So I think it's a
no way.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, right here. Jaguars are listing QB Trevor Lawrence questionable for Sunday's game at Cleveland. Trevor Lawrence ankle practiced in some capacity. So it'll be a game time decision, but I don't think they're going to risk it regardless this week anyways. No, so I got the Browns.
I think they have a shot against the Browns too. So it's not like
it's
not like it's like a ride or die game.
Exactly. And then up to you, man. Panthers at Saints.
You can't bet on the Panthers. I'm gonna have to go Saints.
Agreed. I know Derek Carr got injured last week, but Derek Carr, Jameis
Winston. Derek Carr is like any backup in the league anyway. Yeah. It's not like
exactly.
It's not like he's the Brady of the team, Like
Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, whoever's playing. The Saints got a good enough defense to keep it to keep a close game really against any team or competitive. And Chris Olave's been balling this year once again. So I got the Saints at home. I don't think it's going to even really be that close. But if the Panthers can, yeah, good for them. Then Texans at Jets for me. The Jets going back to Zach Wilson. That's a shit show. To sum it up nicely, the offense will probably put up 10 points or less. Despite the Texans not having the best players. But I got the Texans winning this one.
Might get a lot of slack for this, but I think Zach Wilson's pissed off. I think for some weird reason the Jets show up. It's in New York, right?
Yep. Going to
I
be
think the Jets
raining as
show up. I
fast.
think Zach Wilson gets pissed off, has a great game, proves what he's worth. I think it's still going to be a close one. I think CJ Stroud still performs well, has a good game, shows what he's about like he does every game. But I think for some weird reason, the Jets win this one.
I can honestly see this game being a game where CJ Stroud struggles, maybe throws 2 picks. Sauce Gardner gets one, but the Jets just can't score. And I saw something this week on Twitter that Zach Wilson was conflicted on coming back when offered the starting job in return. I think it's just he could come out pissed off, but
I'm just throwing it out there. I think Zach Wilson comes back.
Could be one of those things. Weird things happen in the NFL, but I think when you tell him he's third string quarterback and now you go back to him, the team's just so lost when you rotate the cycle. I just don't think they're ready, and I think they're checked out for the year.
Fair.
But that could be interesting. But yeah, so split on that one different. And then to get into our starting at 4:00 slate, we got the Vikings at Raiders. I guess I'll go first as the Vikings fan. But I thought about this for a little bit. Vikings, announced Josh Dobbs at the start of this game. But I think the best thing is for this team, they're still the 6th seed right now, despite everything that's happened. Kirk Cousins being out for the year. But Justin Jefferson returns, which I think is obviously big thing when you got him, Addison, and Hawkinson all on the field at the same time. That's going to cause the Raiders enough problems. I mean, Brian Flores has done a great job to make this Vikings defense actually a top 10 unit, despite being one of the worst defenses last year. I think even with just Justin Jefferson coming back, that should provide enough spark, to at least beat the Raiders. I think it could be close, but, I'm rolling with the Vikings in this one.
I think Max Crosby will probably be an issue for Josh Dobbs. I think that the Raiders have really bounced back since firing their original head coach. I think they're doing pretty well. Given that it'll be a close game, I'm still going to go with the Vikings here with Justin Jefferson coming back and still get a good defense. So I think they're going to get a win here.
Yeah, I think it could be pretty low scoring. Max Crosby, when we talk about defensive player of the year, I think we forgot to mention him, but he's been up there. But I think the Vikings, one of the best benefits is you have the best offensive tackle in the league in Christian Darrisaw, just by any metric. He's just a machine. Brian O'Neill on that right side has also been one of the best right tackles in the league for the last 4 years. But yeah, Max Crosby will obviously cause problems. The Raiders defense is scrappy, and they'll keep it interesting. But I got the Vikings maybe by a field goal or touchdown. It's a real shame they lost Kirk, because with him, I think they could have been something. But yeah, Vikings bounce back. So we both got them. Then the Seahawks coming off an impressive offensive showing against the Cowboys. They traveled to San Francisco. But if you want to start, I know my answer.
It's just not going to happen for Seattle. Unfortunately for them, they played really well. They got a lot of good young players. Geno, great quarterback. It's tough when you play a team as good as San Francisco. You're just not going to win.
Yeah. Geno's honestly been kind of disappointing compared to last year, despite his great game. The Seahawks defense is scrappy enough, but division rivals, might stay close. But San Francisco is just the best team in the league, and I don't think they're going to lose another game this season. They always kind of go on a mini losing streak, which they did.
Which they need. They need it. I'm cool with that.
You need to be humbled a little bit in this league, but they'll bounce back. I got
Super Bowl. I think San Fran's winning the Super Bowl, so I really don't see them losing to a team like Seattle.
We'll see that come playoff predictions bracket. But yeah, so we both got San Fran. And then 425 slot. We got Bills traveling to Kansas City. This is where I'm going to take an upset. I think the Bills need this and to stay in the hunt, and I think they're pissed off about that loss to the Eagles. They've had the bye week to reflect on it. Josh Allen, I think it's just going to be one of those games where he just goes berserk when they need him to. Stephon Diggs. I think the Chiefs offense will have a decent bounce back showing after putting up 19 to the Packers and losing 2 straight. It's been kind of, but they just don't have the receivers. And the Bills safeties with Poyer and Hyde will obviously cause some problems. It'll be a close game, obviously, in Kansas City. I think both teams are better than their records. That makes sense. But with that being said, I think just the more desperate team needs it. And it's nothing against Kansas City, but until you get a receiver, this offense just doesn't even scare me to the extent it should when you have one of the best QBs of all time. But I got the Bills winning this one.
Anybody who saw my Super Bowl predictions and my hot takes would know that I'm definitely going to take the Bills on this one. I love the way Josh Allen has been playing. I mean, he has a great game almost every game. And it's a shame to see him lose the way he performs. And I think the Bills defense will shapen up. I think they have an easier game than usual if they can lock up Pacheco. I think Mahomes has had a pretty weak season. I don't think Travis Kelce is like an end-all be-all for the Chiefs either. I think he's a pretty
especially with his age, man. I mean, people forget he's like 33,
he's a coverable tight end. I don't think he's no Gronkowski, so like I'm not super worried about him either. I think the Bills definitely have got this one. And I don't care if Taylor Swift's performing at the halftime. It's not happening.
I have to take a shot at that. Yeah, I like it. I respect it. Yeah. So we both got the Bills in the upset there. Then the 425 Broncos at Chargers. Broncos ended their winning streak of it was like 5 games. Very impressive. And then traveling to the Chargers, who on a little bit of a streak of their own, 5-7 AFC West battle. Winner moves into second place, I think, in that division. But who do you have?
The Chargers are a real shit show lately. Austin Eckler playing like really slow, really sluggish running back. Justin Herbert just not get Quentin Johnson.
The memes have gone crazy for that guy this year.
Yeah. I think Quentin Johnson's mom will have to get 2 jobs after this game. So I'm gonna go with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson on this one. I think they're just the more concrete team. They're coming off a tough loss to another good team. I just don't think the Chargers are in it this year. I don't know what's up with them. They're a really good team on paper. I think it's a coaching issue.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think he will get fired. And this game could be. I think it's going to be really close, not only because it's a division rival game, but the Chargers with Herbert, even whoever he has, him and Keenan Allen have been great this year, despite not having Mike Williams. Yeah, but Quinn Johnson just hasn't been able to step up to that wide receiver 2 role when you needed him to. He's been obviously a great disappointment. Eckler's definitely lost a step. With his age too, he ain't going to get any faster.
And the reason it'll be close is because you got great coaching and a worse team on paper versus bad coaching and a better team on paper. So it's going to be like a weird battle.
But you know what? I trust the team that's been playing better ball all year. Even with that loss, the Texans are still a good team in Houston. They were right on the door of winning. I think the Broncos will bounce back in this one. So we both got that. And then moving into the Sunday night game, Eagles at Cowboys. So it was actually that game. I think this is going to be a great game to watch.
Probably my favorite.
With that being said, I actually thought my mind was pretty made up earlier in this week until I went to my pool predictions, and then I thought about it some more. But I am actually going to go with the Eagles in this one. They got embarrassed by San Francisco, and I think they needed that. I think it's kind of a wake-up call. When you still look at them, will the Cowboys have enough to keep up with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, that offensive line? I think they're going to have a bounce-back week, and I think that defense will just need to be a little bit better. It's going to be a shootout, I think. Dak's going to do his thing. But, it's something – I saw it on another YouTuber thing that I kind of agreed with. It's like until you do it and the Cowboys go and beat a great team, to prove they belong in that category. I need to see it first before I believe in it because I picked them early in this year to go to San Francisco to beat them, and the Cowboys lost by like 30 points. So until they do it, I need to see it before I believe it. So I'm gonna ride with the Eagles in a close one. I think Jalen Hurts bounces back, but it's gonna be a great game.
I really like how the Cowboys have been playing this year. They're a regular season team. I think the Eagles are frustrated, but I don't think they're frustrated in a good way. I think this is the Cowboys' time to really take advantage of the position the Eagles are in. They're in Dallas, correct?
Yes, it is in Dallas. Sunday night.
Dallas, Sunday night. Great game.
That also,
I think it's a close one. I think Jalen Hurts tries his best, but I really want to. I'm gonna have to go with Dallas here. I think it's an upset for sure, and I think Philly will just get more frustrated with the way they've been playing.
Yeah, it could go either way, but I think also Sunday night might actually be a disadvantage to the Cowboys because, I mean, they played the 49ers on Sunday night and got destroyed. I just don't – they're a great team, but, when it comes, like, against physical teams just like them, they struggle with the San Franciscos and the Phillies. It was a great game earlier this year, though, with Philly, and Philly came down the wire. But, yeah, until I see it, but
it's going to be either or.
Yeah, there's no in between on this game.
I'd say the Eagles are probably more favorable to win. But I would just really like to see Dallas win this one.
Yeah.
And if there was a time to do it, it would be now.
And then we actually got 2 Monday night games. The first one being the Titans at Dolphins. This is the games Miami loves at home. I feel like Miami's home every week when I pick them.
For real.
But I know the AFC has an extra home game this year, so that may fluctuate into it. But I got the Dolphins. I mean, the Titans are kind of the heartbreaker last week. Will Levis has looked decent, but Miami's just too good.
Yeah, not much there. Miami wins that one. No doubt.
And then the other 8:15, they're both on at 8:15. So it's and then the other one, the Packers travel to the Giants. I mean, if you want to start this one, but
who are the Patriots?
Packers at Giants.
Do the Patriots not play this week?
Patriots played the Steelers on Thursday night.
Oh, right.
Zappy threw for 3 touchdowns.
Giants or
it's in New York. Packers, travel to the Meadowlands.
I'm gonna go with Packers here. I think Jordan Love has been playing great. I think it's. I mean, the Giants look okay. They're really hype about their quarterback, but I think Jordan Love is the better player here.
Yeah, he's turned that team around great. I think they were 3-6 as well. They're on a streak, beating the Chiefs. He's much improved from the beginning of the year, more accurate, just better reads, knowing when to use his legs. Packers, are right. They're in a playoff spot right now. The 7th seed, they can move up with the Vikings or Seahawks. I think those 3 teams will fight it out. But I'm gonna roll with the Packers in this one as well. I think Giants are just a not good team. But so that concludes.
Before we cut it, I want to get your thoughts on the Alabama situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We can talk about this for a little. When I think about it, I think it's just, when you look at the 4 teams, I think the committee has let in teams like Cincinnati before that have gone undefeated in a much weaker conference. And I think FSU has done everything they can. I mean, I don't know what you want. I know Alabama is a good team. But, at the end of the day, they lost their game. It took them a Hail Mary to beat Auburn. People forget that just 2 weeks ago. They won by like a touchdown against like the University of Southern Florida in like earlier this year. And it's like, I don't really know like what the committee was thinking here. FSU, man, they were undefeated. Like, they rallied around their quarterback being injured. They beat a Louisville team by 10 points. Like, that's a ranked number 14 team. The defense played great. And, at the end of the day, Georgia's won championships because of their defense. I don't think Florida State, honestly, I think they should have been the 3 seed. I don't think they would have been Washington, but you got to give them that chance, and they did everything they can.
Yeah, you have to give it to them, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it sends a bad message, really, man. I don't know about you.
It really does. It really does. You should give it. It shouldn't matter what team is which. Like I think Alabama
or who's starting quarterback. I think the backup, because they were on their 3rd string that game. I think the backup would have been back. He just missed it because of concussion. He had good stats when he was playing. So I was like, you're not even going to be playing.
Yeah, it's a big team. Like I'm sure their backup's fine. You know what I mean?
Twitter, I've seen Twitter be crazy active, dropping the committee's phone numbers and stuff, Florida State pages, telling them to go hit up their agencies. That's a little bit too far, but yeah, the committee, man, it's just full of rich people that get money and they don't really care. They just want to do whatever makes them the most money, and it's a disgrace. But it sounds like on the same page.
I saw something that was like, it was like Trevor Lawrence is like, oh, so like, are the Jaguars excluded from playoffs?
Yeah, like, are we gonna have a committee where like, oh, Browns, I'm sorry, your defense carried you to the playoffs, or carried you to a top 7 record, but you guys aren't going because you're starting
like Thompson, Robinson, or Joe Flacco. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't send a right, and I think Florida State was robbed. They went undefeated in a Power 5 conference, and it's sad.
Especially on like a competitive level. Yeah. Like if you're playing that competitive level of football, I think it's ridiculous that should even be.
The committee just cares more about money. But yeah, no, there'll definitely be other topics we'll talk about besides the NFL. Maybe we'll get into some basketball, college football later on. But with that being said, I think this is this week's video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.